The NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Browns and the Silver and Black, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 25.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and as we look at this matchup, every time there's something different to focus on. So I'll just ask you, what do you see here in this one?
Well, Rembrandt, you've given me a pretty blank canvas to focus on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to go with this?
Oh, secondary?
You know me well, right? In a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
And off we go from Las Vegas. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
In motion is Phillips. And incomplete to open things up.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. First carry for Raheem Mostert. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
They force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Off of play action. Here's Smith. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. DeAndre Carter back deep. Fielded at about the 28. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. They'll be led out by the former Colorado Buffalo, their rookie quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense. Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Tyree Wilson. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Slot man moves right. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And once again, he'll get possibly back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Off play action. Sanders. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
On 4th down, Corey Bojorquez gets set to punt for Cleveland. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Now Geno. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. A run with Mostert up the middle. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing now is Geno. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Martin Emerson. Inside the 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Fresh off the pick 6, it's Smith. That one complete to Trey Tucker. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Not a whole lot there after the penalty, but remember, it was 1st and 5, not 1st and 10, so now they can keep grinding out first downs and good things can happen for them. Just 2nd and short coming up.
From the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2. Play action, it's Smith. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. Geno now to throw. Flush to his right. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Now Smith. Open man is Tucker. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
2nd down and 8. Here's a handoff to Mostert running left. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. 2 yards on the first down carry and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Barreling in for the sack, Shelby Harris.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. Fourth down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. A 33-yarder from the left hash. The kick by Carlson is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the third drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. The Browns drive about to get started. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 2nd and 11. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Into the hands of Cedric Tillman. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. Well, let's see who's faster.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 35-yard line. This is the tight end, Njoku. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. From the gun on third down. Sanders. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This from 54 yards away. And this one is no good. He missed it, and this will stay a 4-point game. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 47 now, they work with a 2nd and 7. Smith. That's to the Notre Dame man, Michael Mayer. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The linebacker Jordan Hicks flying in there for the sack. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now it's Smith. He finds his man, complete. That's Phillips. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Now Smith. That's complete into the hands of Myers. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to make it 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good, and that will keep this a 4-point game. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2 yards to go, second down. Back to throw. Sanders. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
On the ground, it's Ford. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now they're dealing with second and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Sanders operating from the gun. That is incomplete.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I'll bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
The offense on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Looking to throw. Sanders. Able to find the open man. That's complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
They run with Ford. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Again, they turn to Ford. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 42 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
This is Ford. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Jerome Ford, a 5-yard touchdown run. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. That time a 9-play drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. In motion is Phillips. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the gun, here's Smith. Over the middle, hooks up with the tight end Bowers. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down.
Well, this hasn't really been a first half to remember on either side of the ball. But I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a 1-score game if you can. And that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the 1st down.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
From the 50, it's Smith. Pass incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Smith now to throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. They will start this drive with Ford. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 63 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So that last play gives him a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. He'll keep it himself. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. It's another 1st down as they bite off 23 more on that one. But I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 2. Back to throw. Sanders. That's going to be caught by Judy. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 36. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They'll run on first down. Ford. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
2nd down and 3. Looking to throw. Sanders. And he is going to be taken down. They got him. As that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Here's Sanders from the gun on 3rd down. And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright. And this will remain an 11-point spread. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Here's Smith. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
It gets it right back to Mayer. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Here's Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. A shotgun snap for Smith. Over the middle, complete. That's Phillips. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 28. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
Again, Smith. This is Phillips yet again. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Geno. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It's another zone defense that looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Smith. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing again is Smith. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Bowers. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Carlson able to put this one through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And they'll bring Judy in motion right. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Browns offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the third quarter. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Sanders. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here's 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun. Sanders gets this over the middle to Tillman. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 95 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Ford. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Well, partner, I haven't seen a vote for most popular player on the team. This guy's got to get a lot of votes. He does not care, does he? Totally unselfish, physical runner, doesn't worry about yardage, just keeps moving the chains, being a team player.
On 1st down, Ford. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 39-yard line. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Pass over the middle tipped, but he still brings it in. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Hey, during the course of any game, you'll see tip passes, but how often do we actually see the running back come up and end up making the play?
Well, shifty fella getting in there and grabbing it.
Yeah, you know, they always talk about how running backs have a nose for the end zone. They have a nose for the ball, too. They want it in their hands at all times.
Caught here by Bell. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Sanders. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not one bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders now set to get the football back. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And only a couple there up to about the 23-yard line.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And that will be incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Here comes Carter. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Browns offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. The Browns drive about to get started. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
2nd down and 4. Back to throw. Sanders. Over the middle, complete to Judy. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Up the middle they go. It's 4th. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Malcolm Kuntz there on the tackle. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now a 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Sanders. He finds his man. Complete. That's 4th. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That's going to bring up 4th down. Only a gain of 2 there.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Raiders offense coming back out onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coach was always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. On the return, Carter. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And they will take over 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. And you've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Now that's on the guard, Wyatt Teller. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Back to throw. Sanders. That's complete to Bell over the middle. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Third quarter from Southern Nevada. Here's a 2nd and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Ford on a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 131 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. Usually see those guys out wide get called for holding on running plays. Here a passing play.
Yeah, sometimes when you get this quick screen, bubble screen, anything where they're having to block for their fellow receiver, usually at the point of attack, and this time he got caught. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Second and 13. He finds his man, complete. It's Ford. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And 3rd and 8 now.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders 16. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Browns will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And able to get this out to the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the fourth. Throwing is Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter. Got
his man complete over the middle. That's Tucker. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Back to throw, Smith. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
And here's a spot where this offense says, we got to start making something happen. We're down 2 scores. It's the 4th quarter. We've got to start moving with some urgency. And here's a big play that gives them a ray of hope that they can get back in this one.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Back to the running game with Mostert. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd down and 12. Now a give to Mostert running right. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 4th down, here's Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Carlson is good, and they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Cleveland offense making their way out. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now Sanders throwing to start the drive. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. Ford. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up, and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Ford, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Despite the heavy running, he'll be hit and drop shy of the 45. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. In motion is Phillips. From the gun, here's Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Myers. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
His throw incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. In motion is Phillips. Smith throwing again. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
This is 2nd and 8. Now it's Smith. He'll drop it off to McAllister as running back. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. Throw out wide is incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go on 4th. Smith. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And that will force a turnover on downs. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. On 1st down, Ford. Down inside the 40.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6. And they'll bring Judy in motion right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today. Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Sanders. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Raiders offense and Geno Smith headed back out for this next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on 4th down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride, the offense, this go-around. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Now Smith. Tucker hauls it in over the middle. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
Off of play action, here's Smith. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Here we go. This is 4th down. They snap it to Smith. That is caught, and they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Got to avoid the flags defensively. Here's 4th and long. Smith. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Ford is going backwards here. Now they come in and drop him all the way back at the 4-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. The handoff to Ford up the middle, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down.
One word comes to mind to me after that last play, and that's alert. That defense took a chance guessing the snap count, and they were so right. Got great push up front, and that forces 4th and goal.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it, and they do so right there.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. On the return, Trey Tucker. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
For this? Is that even a play?